Hey friends, welcome back to Books and Data with Lady O. I am so excited for today's short episode. I have my first NetGalley review to get done, and I am so excited to bring to you all Mr. Chuck Chakrapani, and that is his book coming out June 5th, The Power to Change: Stoic Strategies to Transform Your Life. And I will say, this little book packs a great punch, and I have already put some of the tips in here, and I've seen a minor transformation, but you know what? Life is baby steps. There's several sections throughout this book that it's like it didn't take you a day to get to where you are. It's going to take more than a day to fix some of the habits that we have put in our place. So let's go ahead and dive right in. This wonderful book is broken up to four parts. So, part one, where are we headed? Part two, what are we up against? Part three, how to design a life that flows well. And part four, how to handle everyday problems. Now, honestly, all the stoicism just came right out through my words. So, that was absolutely awesome. Within part one, I think what I appreciate most about, I'm going to say Mr. Chuck, the author. So, what I appreciate most about Mr. Chuck's book and his writing style is it's all in plain English. And he even starts off by saying, everything that I'm about to go through and tell you is nothing new. Because if we're talking about Stoic principles, I got to throw in, some of my biblical knowledge. There's nothing new under the sun, right? Everything that has happened, it's already happened at some point throughout this wonderful timeline called life. And the principles of Stoicism, they're pretty simple. Um, and as Chuck so well stated, they're very simple, but can you do it? Okay. So within the first part of the book, it mostly is talking about why are you focusing on things that are outside of your control, right? So the first part of the book is essentially, let's rewire the brain real quick. Let's focus on what we can control. What can we control? We can control us. We can control our responses to things. That is absolutely the the guiding principle of the book, basically. And I really I enjoyed Chuck's consistency throughout the book as far as the examples he used, like key examples. If you are sick, if you have a terminal illness, if you lose your job, if you're going through a hard relationship, it's absolutely the way that the book flows so well that keeps you engaged is because you see those consistent examples. And I liked that there were some parts where it almost felt repetitive, but then if you recall the information that he goes throughout, it makes complete sense. So love that part for sure. Now, things that are within you, within your control, what you believe, what you desire or hate, or what you are attracted to, and what you try to avoid, you have complete control over. That seems like a very simple enough principle. Absolutely. I completely agree with him on that. Now, what I absolutely totally love about the book is at the end of each chapter, we've got key takeaways. So, first part, right? Some things in life are within your control, others are not. If you ignore what is not within your control and act on what is, your life will change for the better. Wow. Yeah, I know, right? It was like a totally mind blown moment, but no, it's not. But if you actually sit back and let that just sink in and just try it. So, one thing, he also has an exercise at the end. Scan your mind and identify any concerns, worries, or anxieties you are currently facing. Write them down. This is why it took me a month to get through. This book is what, 256 pages for me? That should have been like a couple days, right? But no, I say get the biggest bang for your buck, for your experience. Literally, write down whatever your concerns are and then look at each one. Is it doing some, is it is doing something about it within your control. If no, why you worry about it, right? I mean, what you got to worry about. If yes, go ahead, do it. Do what you got to do and be done and move along. Um, Otherwise, your fears and anxiety serve no purpose. That was probably the most deepest, astounding part for me, and that's just the beginning. That was just like the first chapter. It was so much magic. Oh my goodness. Um, Absolutely astounding. I enjoyed it. Let's see here. Some other key parts throughout the book. Our junk in the mind's attic. So, reason tries to delete the bad judgments enriched in our minds as a result of misperceptions and to free us from them. It tries to introduce second judgments in accordance with nature or to correct unsound judgments. This stoic Mr. Rufus, I can get down with him. Now, they sound like big words, but what I love about Chuck and his writing style and how he presents all of the some very popular Stoic quotes and concepts is he breaks them down into plain English. So basically, this is not a one time effort. We have been accumulating mental junk all our lives in our minds and nourishing it. Completely getting rid of it cannot be done overnight. It is a long process, but a rewarding one. Yes, yes, he is correct on that. And I will say the way that the book flows into the next part, which is our constant internal dialogue. Oh, chef's kiss. So, you've got all this junk stored up in your mind about things that you most likely have no control over. And then now you have to figure out how you're going to purge all that junk. But then on top of that, while you're going through that, you've got to deal with all of your backseat drivers you've got going on. So you've got four backseat drivers, right? You've got foolishness, you've got excess, you've got cowardice, and you have injustice. And it is their job, those four backseat drivers, it is their job to distract you from your happiness, from your focus, from your purpose, the purpose that the Lord Almighty put you on this earth for. All of those things are distracting you, and they are of what? The devil. Get behind me, Satan. Yes, that's what I be saying. Get behind me, Satan. All that foolishness, we ain't got no time for it. So, once again, Mr. Chuck comes through with very actionable and easy exercises. It's not, again, these things are not difficult, which is what makes this book so awesome, so powerful, and I am totally here for it and loved every minute. So, again, we're going to sit down, we're going to write down everything that you are annoyed about. Write it down: annoyed, worried, anxious. Review again. See how many things are within your direct control. If everything is within your direct control, what's there to worry about? Go take care of it. Go get it done. If everything is within your direct, if it's not, what is the use of being annoyed, worried, or anxious about it? Isn't it foolish? So that marvelous grand idea. So make the choice about what is in your control and decide not to be foolish. Stop worrying about things that you can't control. And again, Chuck excellently writes it out. This is all very easier said than done. But if you can take the baby step to write these things down and purge your mind and your body of all those things that are not within your control, you'll feel a very light weight come off of you. And again, I spent a month in the book, and again, very small, tiny. I did many of these exercises, and I found just a little bit of peace. But you know what? Every day is a new journey, and all of us can use just a little bit of peace. So I'm going to take that little bit of peace with me, and so very excited for what's to come next. I will be getting a copy. I need a physical copy of this book to keep on my shelves because there's a lot of solid things in here that I definitely want to be able to relive, per se. So Mr. Chuck keeps coming through with the punches, and one thing that also stood out was, how does the river of time sweep our worries and anxieties away? And it basically is a chapter that we're talking about appreciating the freshness of every day. Of every day is a new day, right? I mean, you can't change anything that happened yesterday. All you can do is move forward with it. Whatever the consequence of your actions yesterday were, you got to deal with it. So let's deal with it gracefully, right? And I tell you what, the quotes that are mentioned all throughout the book from the great, you've got Epictetus, you've got Marcus Aurelius, you've got all the us's, right? You got all of them. You got all of them coming on. One of my favorite, I just couldn't even get past it. It says, and this was saying, don't overlook the resources that you already have. So a lot of us, we have a problem with being content with the blessings that we have. My kids actually get on me because I compare them a lot to the kids in North Korea. I don't know if I can say that. Hopefully it doesn't like make the channel go wonky or something, but I do that. And it's not to be an insult to anybody or anything, but it's like, here in America, a lot of times we just don't understand how many resources we have just right here at our fingertips and how blessed we are. However, this quote had me dying, and it still does to this day. I just fell on the floor when I saw it. So, but my nose is running. Well, what do you have hands for, idiot, if not to wipe it? But how is it right that there be running noses in the first place? Instead of thinking up protest, wouldn't it just be easier to wipe your nose? And that's just like, it's like one of the most simplest concepts. Oh goodness, look over there. There's a piece of trash on the floor. Okay, should we just go pick up the piece of trash, or should we complain about why is there trash on the floor? It's just small little things all like that. And I really don't know if the people during this time understood sarcasm, but if they did it excellently. Like, once again, chef's kids absolutely loved it. So there was that bit. And I will say that this book is not all about a me aspect, and that is another thing I absolutely enjoyed. I truly did, because we even go into the part about, you know again, you can only control your actions. So, and you can control your actions or how you respond to something. You can't control the outcomes. You cannot control other people's responses, but you can control how you respond. So I really enjoyed there's a part that we kind of dig into, well, what happens if this person bumps into me, or so and so didn't say hi to me, or gosh, why did my boss give me a bad report? Things like that. I love how Mr. Chuck kind of dives into how we can be a good neighbor, or how we can, um, how do you say, how do we respond or not to how other people, somebody accidentally bumped into me, something like that. So one thing that I appreciated is, there's a beautiful piece of text in here. So while you live in a world of mental turbulence, the person next to you can be living in a world of mental joy. So basically, overall, it's like, hey, if you're having a bad day, I'm sorry, sucks to be you. I can't say I'm sorry because I don't know that you're having a bad day. But I'm over here in, happy cloud land, and you're just coming in with your sour mood and affecting everyone around you. Like, why are you doing that? I mean, if you're having some mental turbulence, go reach out to your counselor, say a prayer, do a devotional. I don't know, but the person next to you can be living again in mental joy. And why would you want to be unneighborly and go and kill that person's day, right? And vice versa. Like, if you're someone and you're having a wonderful, happy go lucky, jolly day, and your neighbor is having a pretty sour day, well, there's two things you could do. You could be that rude person that's like, stop being a butthead and have a great day. Or you could walk alongside that person. What can I do to make your day a little bit better? Um, I really love how he brings in that other aspect. So it's not just all me, me, me. And then on the side of, if we're talking about business or career advancements, why did my boss give me that bad report? Okay, It's your opinion that your boss gave you a bad report. Did you actually do a good job? And even if you did do a good job, could you just take that advice from your boss to do better the next time? Right? And that's another part of this awesome book that I absolutely loved, is that everyone, like, your thoughts are mostly opinion based. And I absolutely love how he points out, like, most of the things that you create within your mind, your internal dialogue, it's all mostly an opinion, right? Because we all have opinions, and your opinion is your opinion, and you can have it and it's okay. But again, you got to remember that it's just an opinion. Like, what is the reality? Is your boss really being mean to you, or are you really being just a little cad and you need to man up and go do a better job next time, right? I mean, we live in such a world where everything is go, go, go. But if you find a person that's willing to give you a piece of feedback, whether you appreciate it or not, take that feedback in grace, go do something with it, or use it as toilet paper. We don't really care, but there's no need to think that so and so doesn't like me because, no, no, no. Like, boss is doing boss's job, and like, hey, let's improve here. And I would prefer, like, someone tell me the truth than come along wasting my time with a lie. Because, right, another part that we go into with this book is, if we took away every single one of your problems, well, what can you do? Right? Yeah, you would be, you would kind of be worthless. Like, there would be no point. And again, going back to our biblical thing, be of good cheer, for I've overcome the world. In this world you will have trouble, right? God tells us you are going to have trouble. He never told you that it was going to be an easy walk. He said he is faithful, he is true, he will be with you, but never said you weren't going to have some turbulence. So buckle up, buttercup, and suck it up. Is basically the overall arching message of this wonderful book. And I would definitely say, like I said, solid 4 stars for me. I would even go 4.5. As I said earlier, there were a couple of times where it did seem a little repetitive, and that may have just been because Chuck does use he's very consistent with the examples that he used, which is fine. But again, 256 pages, a lot to digest. It's a very dense book. Like, this is one of those books that you want to sit down and read and actually do the exercises, use those key takeaways. And overall, I absolutely enjoyed it. Thank you so very much, NetGalley, for approving me to review and read this awesome book. I'm glad I got a first look sneak peek, and I really hope that you all go out, grab Chuck's book. I'm going to be doing the same because, again, wonderful, memorable moments. And if I just had to say a little caveat, if you're one of those folks that always wanted to try to digest some of Jordan Peterson's work, I would start here, and then move over to, the Beyond Order or 12 Rules for Life. Because if you had to start somewhere and you want to get plain English and you want that messaging and you want actionable items that you can implement into your life, that you can immediately start implementing, this is the book for you. You have the power to change. And, well, as you said, you don't really have anything to lose at this point. So, yeah, but those are my thoughts. And, hey, give me a thumbs up if you liked my review. If you plan on buying the book, please put a $ emoji or something down in the bottom. Let's chat about it. I want to know who your favorite Stoics are. Do you have any favorite quotes? And as always, looking forward to see you guys next time. Bye.